Welcome to my world. 2 escargot, pate, frisée, 2 green salads.
Okay, man, it's right here.
Lamb chops, steak frites. Shouldn't you be doing something? 2 faux filet and a pepper steak. Come on, make the dessert. Chocolate tart, please.
As a cook, tastes and smells are my memories, and now I'm in search of new ones. So I'm leaving New York City and hope to have a few epiphanies around the world, and I'm willing to go to some lengths to do that. I am looking for extremes of emotion and experience. I'll try anything, I'll risk everything, I have nothing to lose.
Let's face it, New York City is the best city in the world. In fact, it's the center of the world. If you live in another city, you may think you live in a city, but you probably don't.
New York, New York. It's not just a place, it's an idea. It's where people come to make it big. You know, the Sinatra tune. Okay, sure, sometimes it sucks.
What are you looking at?
The people are gruff, the streets aren't clean, the rents aren't cheap, and these days, Times Square looks like a theme park.
It used to be this, New Yorkers were the scariest thing in this neighborhood. Now Mickey Mouse is the baddest dude on this block.
But you know what? I love it here, even when I hate it. It's a place I call home. And no matter what you think of New York, there's one thing that makes it better than any place else: the food. New Yorkers live their lives eating out. New York City has more than 21,000 restaurants. That's a lot of options.
This is a Flatiron district we're in the middle of, which is a hot restaurant neighborhood. A few feet over there, Union Square area, which is a very hot restaurant neighborhood. A few feet over there is Madison Park. And then there's the Gramercy area. So it's all threatening like multiplying amoebas into one giant monster restaurant zone.
But even with all the options, New Yorkers will always have their favorites, yours truly included. They're the places you just couldn't live without, the places that mean home. So you know how people say New Yorkers are rude? Well, those are the New Yorkers who haven't had their breakfast.
Whenever I want to treat myself to the best breakfast in New York, in fact, the best breakfast in the universe, I go to a place in my neighborhood, well, famed for just that, the legendary Barney Greengrass, the Sturgeon King.
This place has been a New York institution since 1908, when over 1 million Jews from Eastern Europe made New York City their home. Like everything else in the city, the food and culture that once belonged to them now belongs to everyone.
Essential ingredients for a balanced breakfast. New York Times, Barney Greengrass, cigarettes. I'm very cranky today. Yankees lose. Mets lose too, but who cares about them? It's a problem ordering here because there's a lot of good stuff on the menu. You gotta just sit there and just gaze at it for a long time, trying to make up your mind what to go for.
But I know what I'm having.
They don't call him the Sturgeon King for nothing.
Sturgeon is the absolute king of smoked fish. It's flaky but firm with a delicate, almost buttery flavor. So, of course, I ordered the sturgeon platter.
Can't leave here without having the Nova eggs and onions also. I mean, this overkill. I'm having smoked sturgeon and Nova eggs and onions. But hey, what the hell?
Nova's not a word to throw around lightly. It implies the best smoked salmon, even though the stuff doesn't come from Nova Scotia anymore. Scramble that with caramelized onions and farm-fresh eggs, and you end up with a smoky, greasy pile of good stuff.
You have a sturgeon platter, eggs and onions. What kind of bagel?
Plain's good.
Plain toasted?
Yeah, please. There is no other bagel, by the way. Plain, that's it. Anyway, 2 found shot to death on banks of the Hudson. Both men suggested they may have been restaurant workers. No identifying documents? Well, that's not unusual. I call work and find out if anyone was late. Do I need a new dishwasher? I like my coffee regular.
Regular in New York with milk and sugar. That's a regular. Not even regular, regular.
1 sturgeon platter, 1 Nova eggs and onions.
This is a luxurious breakfast. You better have a good day at the track before you order this.
First, the sturgeon.
It's subtle. Very different from smoked salmon. A much lighter flavor, a less dense texture.
Now for the Nova and eggs.
This is like the signature thing around here. The secret to a lot of really good classic Jewish cuisine. Properly caramelized onions. The eggs and the onions work against the saltiness and the denseness and the oiliness of the smoked salmon. This, on the other hand, needs nothing but a little schmear of cream cheese and your bagel. Believe me, God made anything better, he kept it for himself.
Thanks.
I've hit the limit for smoked fish in one sitting, but there's one more green grass specialty I can't live without.
Once you're done with your breakfast, you can buy the best chopped liver in the universe to take home. It's fluffy, ethereal, absolutely the best. And by the way, the source of a lot of controversy. There have been impassioned articles over what the best chopped liver is. To my mind, there's no argument at all.
I need a pound of chopped liver because it is the best chopped liver in the universe. Accept no substitutes.
Look at that. Caramelized onions, eggs, and who knows what else. Actually, I know what else, but I ain't telling.
Thank you so much. As always, a pleasure. See you again next week.
Another great thing about New York, my apartment. I think I'll go lay around and nosh on this chopped liver. There are lots of big-name restaurants in New York, but when I'm home, I like to eat where my friends are cooking. My friend Scott Bryan happens to be head chef at Veritas, a small restaurant in Gramercy.
Kitchen's closing. Hopefully you'll be able to throw something together for me. Just a crust of bread, a little simple gruel. That's all I need.
Okay, to be fair, Scott never exactly throws something simple together. Veritas presents Scott with a particularly daunting challenge. While its physical location is small, one thing about Veritas is huge: its wine cellar. Veritas has around 3,000 selections from all over the world, including many extremely rare finds.
63 Taylor, really a great bottle.
Seared Atlantic halibut, white bean fricassee.
Scott's French-driven contemporary American cuisine is crafted to complement the wine list. You'd never know it from tasting his food, but Scott's a regular guy from Boston. Like me, he started out as a dishwasher. Most importantly, Scott is a good friend. I know he'd never try to embarrass me on my own national television program.
Ordinarily, the way things work with other chefs is I become friends with the person before I enjoy their food. Scott's an unusual case in that I met him through his food.
You know, we've known each other for a while, and some chefs are quite competitive, you know.
I mean, the idea of me competing with him or giving him advice is, ridiculous.
If you think something could be done a little better, he always lets me know.
I mean, it would be ridiculous to... No, I don't even want to address the issue.
He's a writer now, you know, so we don't have any sort of tension.
I don't consider myself a bad cook. In fact, I think I'm a good cook and a good chef.
Some chefs, they take themselves a little too serious.
A good cook and a very good chef.
It'll be nice to stop playing the chef for an evening. I'll just have some humble gruel with my good pal, Scott.
Feed me. It's good to be a chef. It's like being in the Gambino crime family. You know, if you're a Gambino soldier, you can go to another city, another town, and you meet another soldier in the same family who presumably will look after you. And eventually they might shoot you in the back of the head, but in the meantime, generally you get to eat well.
As I wait out front, I'm told that Scott is busy in back, conferring with Tim Kopek, Veritas' resident wine expert. I have a feeling I'm not going to be getting a simple staff meal tonight.
The nice thing with so many different wines to choose from that we have a lot of options. The chef can do different dishes, and we can go about the wine compliments with a different approach. So for tonight, there's quite a few courses, and we're going to have to build in a progression just as the food will.
What I do is start with the special, the fluke ceviche. Citrus marinated fluke, shaved fennel salad, basil oil, chive oil, orange, and a little tomato.
Maybe we'll do something from Alsace, something very high in acid, or maybe even a German Riesling.
Want to join the first course?
Oh, yeah. Where's the fluke at? Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it now. No, that's what's cool about Scott. It's a neglected fish, similar to sole or flounder. Now, what's the difference between flounder and sole? About $3 a pound.
Seared Atlantic black bass, served with a shrimp lemon emulsion.
There's a fish course, and instead of being traditional and doing white wines like, the textbook says, so to speak, maybe we'll do a lighter burgundy.
This is the next course, pan seared black bass.
One of the things that separates the artist from the craftsman is to be able to pull off the element of surprise. The wine arrived first, so of course I was expecting a piece of fish with a meat sauce. But what Scott's done here is very cute. It's a fish dish with a really powerful shrimp sauce. Surprise is a tough thing to pull off. That's what he just did. What do I have here?
You have dueling foie gras.
Dueling foie gras. He's playing like mind games with me, man.
I think these two little chunks of goose liver symbolize Scott and me. On one side, classically elegant but simple. Try to guess who that is. And on the other side,
It's foie gras with the rhubarb and the black pepper gastrique.
This is really sneaky. A gastrique is a reduction of sugar and vinegar. It is classically used as the basis for a sauce.
Main course, maybe do a little veal cheek and a little slice of sirloin.
And probably a nice, rich, rustic red for that closer wine.
You know, now he's blasting me with a howitzer. It's very unfair. Scott is using personal knowledge of my likes and dislikes to best me up on 3 levels. One, this crude but utterly magnificent wine. It's Marlon Brando in Streetcar Named Desire, okay? It's big, sloppy, chunky guy in a wife beater t-shirt. That's what this wine is. Then he sends me a cheek, which is telling me, I know you like neglected cuts braised. This is a very crude, provincial, and utterly wonderful preparation. Exactly what he knows I love. And then he's laying it on thick by slathering it with an ounce of shaved fresh white truffles. Marlon Brando, Vivian Lee. This aches for that.
so much for loyalty among friends. I'm gonna have to reevaluate my entire menu thanks to Scott.
Scott, that was really mean of you. It was overkill, man. Okay, that was like New York Yankees playing a farm team from, Missouri. And how long have I known you now? Like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? I feel like we've been playing softball in the backyard and you've been going easy on me. This was brutal.
Gee, maybe Scott would embarrass me on my own national TV show. But he'll get his someday.
If you know anything about me, you know that one of my favorite things on this planet is stinky, runny cheese. The stinkier and the runnier, the better. When in New York, the best place to get stinky, runny cheese is right here at Murray's Cheese Shop.
Murray's is the place chefs go for the best cheese in town.
Robert, hi, Tony Bourdain. How are you?
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Something I haven't done is had some really good stinky, runny cheese in a while.
Cheese tasting or a cheese course, like the restaurants are doing, is similar to a wine tasting. We start with mild or fresher things typically, and move on to the stronger, stinkier things.
Oh, I get it. Robert's gonna tease me before the main event. Apparently there's a lot of complexities to cheese. What kind of milk is used, the hardness or softness of its consistency, and how it's treated and aged. These cheese guys are very sinister. Rob insists we start with cheddar.
We all have our opinions about what might be the world's best cheddars. I think that we have two in the United States, Shelburne Farms and a Grafton 4-year, both from Vermont.
Right.
The best cheddars, in my opinion, are from Vermont. Let's cut off some of the 4-year.
Well, this is a whole new world in cheddar for me. What a lot of Americans come to believe is cheddar is, what the hell is it? That's really good.
This is the real thing.
Moving up the ladder, it's time for the blues. Blue cheese, that is.
Is there anything more beautiful than the blue rippling through a good blue cheese?
In order to get a blue cheese, penicillin Roquefort are mixed in with the paste as the cheese is being made, and that's what causes the blue. And then typically a blue cheese is punctured so that the air can get in it, and that's how the veins are formed.
As a kid, you're told if you see something furry and blue like that, it's bad. What is good mold and what is bad mold in cheese?
Do not be afraid of molds. Molds won't hurt you. Molds are what you get your vaccination from.
Yeah.
And they exist in nature. There are very few molds in cheese that you cannot eat. I would urge everybody to go out and try blue cheeses from France. So here's a bleu d'Auvergne, a raw milk bleu d'Auvergne.
It's creamy, less, more full-bodied, but it doesn't have the kind of the sharpness. If you grew up on crumbled blue at the salad bar and like that, maybe your first step into blue cheese greatness might be a good choice.
Finally, we're getting hot. Robert breaks out the good stuff.
Stronger and stinkier, not to use the real cheese term, is a Vacherin. This just came in, so in another day or two, it'll be even creamier and gooier than this.
That is to die for.
That luscious pudding-like texture.
More full-tongued experience.
Just when I'm finally feeling jacked up, Robert decides to one-up himself and take me into the back storage room.
This is a cave-aged Bleu de Verne from a very, very small farm. Wait till you taste this.
Oh, man.
We have these little stashes of cheese.
Did any crazed chefs ever get drunk and break in here at 3 o'clock in the morning and start rifling your stash? I'm tempted. You might ask yourself, why doesn't every town or every major city in America have a cheese store like this? Why just New York? You know, traditionally, New York is a melting pot of many, many cultures. In New York, they can sell this.
The best places in New York are those that never stray from what they're good at. It's what keeps bringing me back. Murray's is no exception, and neither is my next stop. Time for a classic New York lunch.
Celebrity sighting on your left. Food Network chef Tony Bourdain coming out of Murray's Cheese Shop.
Let's face it, the Upper East Side sucks. I come here about as often as I go to Cambodia, which is almost never. There is, however, one shining light, one temple of cuisine, which I visit every time I come to the Upper East Side. It's right there.
Papaya King, frankfurters, and juice. Combine the finest hickory smoked meat with imported casings from Europe and serve it in an intimate atmosphere. Forget it. Let's not pretend that a hot dog isn't a hot dog. It's ground animal parts wrapped in intestines.
Thank you. Can I have you?
I get one with sauerkraut,
Maybe with?
one with onions, and a papaya.
Just stay here to go.
Steak.
But as hot dogs go,
This is the apex of the hot dog making art, my friends.
you wash that down with a creamy papaya drink in a paper cup.
It's a classic. It's like, red wine and beef, white wine and fish, and papaya drink with a hot dog.
You know, when you get down to it, it's not even about the dog or the drink. It's about home. And Papaya King is New York through and through. The city. Anything can happen, anywhere, anytime. Even late at night, I'm always on the lookout for a good meal. This is the ride I take home every night of my life. If I'm sitting in the back seat of a yellow cab, looking out the window at my city, whipping by the window, I feel good. I do all my best thinking at this time of night, thinking about tomorrow's specials. Skate grenobloise. Nah. Beurre noisette. It's so last week. Amandine. That's so 70s. Someday a rain is gonna come and wash all the bad food trends off the street. All this thinking about food is making me hungry.
How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How you doing?
All right, not bad.
So you ever seen the movie Taxi Driver?
Robert De Niro? Yeah, that was good. I like the movie.
So where do cab drivers eat?
Oh, there is many places in the city. No one thinks that, there is cheap and good food in the city, but there is.
Uh-huh.
There is one place down in the Upper East Side. We always go there.
Is this like an all taxi driver place?
Yeah, most of the people there are taxi drivers.
Yeah? This sounds kind of cool.
After I drop you off, I'm gonna go there to eat.
What kind of food is this?
It's Arabic way.
Hey, you hungry? Let's go to this place.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
New York really is a city that never sleeps, but maybe they should have called it the city of nonstop eats. It takes a lot of people to keep the city running around the clock, and that's a lot of appetites from all over the world. In New York, slow is a 4-letter word, especially to cabbies. So the city has become a melting pot of fast food places like this one, which cater to a whole world of tastes. Amir's specializes in Middle Eastern standards, everything from shawarma to falafel. The food is prepared quickly, but it's good stuff. My cabbie and I both go for the shawarma platters.
Rotisserie beef, or it's basically sliced, stacked real tight, slowly broiled on the spit.
After wrapping that in pita with veggies, you throw in a couple of blobs of hummus and baba ganoush to make it a platter. Hummus is kind of like guacamole made from chickpeas instead of avocado.
I know how to make the baba ganoush, actually. That's roasted eggplants. You roast them in the skin till the whole eggplant gets seared and charred on the outside. You smash it up with a little garlic, I think.
All in all, you can't beat the quality, the quantity, and the cheap prices at Amir's.
So good price, good food, and access to parking. Thanks, man. That was really great.
You like it, don't you?
Hit the spot.
That was good, yeah.
New York still holds a powerful sense of mystery for me. It's a big, dense city. You know, I've lived here, all these years, and still, at least once a week, I find something that I didn't know previously to exist.
Yet despite all that mystery, New York still manages to feel to me as homey and inviting as your grandmother's kitchen.
They say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I believe that.
And most importantly, if you can eat it here, why would you want to eat it anywhere else?